Hello, this is Fright Zenith. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about George's Hideaway, situated in Sonoma County, California. But before I continue, I would like to pay my condolences to Angie Stanford, who was the wife of George, and the last official proprietress of George's Hideaway. May she rest in peace. First and foremost, I would like to discuss the history of George's Hideaway. George's Hideaway was not always called George's Hideaway. In fact, it was previously known as Ripkin's. And prior to that, a brothel. The brothel occupied the upstairs of the structure. Brothels are renowned for their ignoble and erotic nature, appealing to men and women alike. Ripkin's resort, to be precise, was an inn and a bar, and possibly a brothel, owned by William and Evelyn Ripkins. George's Hideaway was a bar and a restaurant owned by Angie and George Stanford. Throughout the years, there have been many reports, sightings, and encounters of the paranormal at George's Hideaway. One of which was the cowboy. The cowboy was described by many witnesses as a short-statured and callous figure. Of almost all of the accounts provided across the web, many statements mention that the cowboy had facial indentations and an odious presence. Many locals and eyewitnesses suggest that the cowboy lingers in the bar area where the brothel used to be. However, the cowboy is just one of the spirits that calls George's Hideaway home.
Please state your name and your title.
This is Cheryl Sandberg, and she was a manager of George's Hideaway in 2013. To be precise, this interview was on June 23rd, 2013.
Cheryl Sandberg, I'm acting manager here at George's Hideaway. Just recalled that there was another woman here that she had an aneurysm here. She was a chef, a cook, that she had signed on to run the kitchen here. She was here 10 days and had an aneurysm in the kitchen and was taken away in an ambulance, and she never woke up. I can't remember her name, Diane. I can't remember her name. I really wish I could. But
go ahead and continue.
But we feel that maybe we've omitted her, and we just now, Diane just now thought of her. So there you have it. I don't know. I know Donna was mentioning that she had felt the presence of a heavier woman that was here, and that may be her because she was heavy. So there you have it.
Very good, thank you.
The woman depicted in Cheryl's description had an aneurysm only 10 days after her first appearance at the job. Cheryl never disclosed the employee's name, possibly due to legal repercussions that could be in tow of a disclosure. However, she did mention her demise and how untimely and unusual it was. Also in the video is Cheryl's reference to her boss, Diane. Diane also had her own accounts of what happened at George's Hideaway. Although no known or published interviews were conducted that day other than Cheryl's, Paul Roberts took it upon himself and on behalf of the HSI paranormal team to publish Diane's remarks on the forum. Diane says in her own words, "I met Evelyn Ripkins in the late 60s, early 70s. She and her husband owned Ripkins, now George's Hideaway. They actually lived in the dining room. She was a great storyteller and often talked about her ghost, Rudolph. Now you may begin to ask yourself, who's Rudolph and how does he relate to George's Hideaway? In reality, no one really knows where Rudolph came from. He was there when Evelyn was alive. And even Evelyn herself has rumored to be in George's Hideaway. And what really makes this interesting is, truly, there is no telling how many apparitions are currently residing in this area. Apart from the reports and all of the purported claims, there is really no evidence to prove or disprove any of the apparitions that are aforementioned. Paul Roberts and his team, the HSI Paranormal Group, being as intrigued as they were, decided to conduct an investigation later that night. Based on the interview from Cheryl Sundberg and the claims from Diane Anderson, things were about to get real. Paul Roberts, alongside the HPI Paranormal Group, conducted an investigation on June 22nd, 2013. What they found was truly revealing of what took place at George's Hideaway both in the past and present. "1 a.m. on the dot, June 22nd, 2013. A man by the name of John, which is pictured above, and also a part of HPI, captures a sound that resembles the sound of a cigarette. 1 a.m. on the dot, June 22nd, 2013. A man by the name of John, which is pictured above, and also a part of HPI, captures a sound that resembles the sound of a cigarette. Identified as a Class A EVP, the spirit identifies himself as Edgar. Shari, also pictured above, captures an EVP, which is a full sentence, ending with the word Paul. Exactly 10 minutes later, on June 22nd, 2013, 2 EVPs are captured, which resemble the sound of a door squeaking, and the other with a deep male tone chanting, "David." Now, of course, this doesn't shy too far away from your conventional EVP reading, nor does it differentiate itself from the typical ghost story. However, there is a catch. As to why the team's tenure was so short-lived at George's Hideaway is simply unknown. There was no stimulus, nor was there any reason given as to why they were asked to leave and never come back. I would say that the staff asked for their departure once they realized that clientele and potential customers alike could be warded off by paranormal investigators. But even the then owners have had their own encounters. Deb and Phil McCauley. Resorting to the forum, Deb McCauley can recall times in which Evelyn the ghost had ripped down posters of women she had just placed on the wall, repeatedly. According to her statement, these occurrences have ceased since then, since she became angry with Evelyn. Although submissions regarding George's Hideaway from Deb McCauley are limited, she has submitted a couple of posts on Facebook and other social media sites that suggest that George's Hideaway is legitimately haunted. Information regarding George's Hideaway and the apparitions that accompany such is limited, to say the least. However, there is always some details that have yet to be unearthed. Perhaps that will be covered in another video. George's Hideaway is currently on the real estate market for the listing of $849,000. Vanguard Properties, the hosting website for the listing, seemingly states that George's Hideaway was left as is. Thank you for watching. This is Fright Zenith. Subscribe and like for part 2.